Celebrity Golf Championship, Saturday 4 Eastern, NBC.
Local news comes first. This is NBC 6 News at 6.
You may talk to your children about how to act when approached by a stranger, but do they really listen to you?
Our hidden camera reveals your investment in your child could save their life. That's our top story for July 18th.
Well, it seems that you hear about case after case of missing or abducted children. There are several in the national news now, including the recent sexual assault and murder of this 5-year-old in Southern California. Despite a report that a suspect was arrested today, police say that that is not true. Police are still looking for the man who kidnapped and killed the girl. Police are pursuing hundreds of leads right now. A number of people have been detained and a few were arrested, but not in connection with the slain girl. And with hidden cameras in place, we wanted to see what Central Texas youngsters would do when faced with a stranger. Our Aubrey Mika shows us children in our area may be smarter than we think when it comes to going with strangers.
Ask that little boy in the blue to come over here.
We begin our experiment at the water park in Cameron Park. An NBC 6 News employee poses the stranger. After getting permission from the parents, he approaches our first toddler, Jason.
What's your name?
Jason.
How are you, Jason? Are you having a good time? Playing in the water? Have you played on the slides and stuff over there? You want to walk over there and play on them now?
I did already.
You don't want to go over there again? See, there's some other little boys over there. How about if we walk over there and play with those boys?
A failed attempt, so he tries with Dominic.
What's your name? Okay, these two kids have been taught well.
Here goes a different approach, this time armed with candy.
You want some candy? Here. Hold out your hand. You sure you don't want to walk over there to the slide?
Yeah.
Although both boys did take the candy, they refused to leave the water park with our stranger.
I'm going to tell him not to take candy from strangers and not to even talk to strangers, I think.
It was very interesting to see his reaction, and when he shook his head no, I was really pleased. I know he looked over at me. I tried to look away from him like I wasn't paying attention, but he wouldn't go with him, so I was thrilled.
Our next stop, the Cameron Park Zoo. Our stranger did manage to strike up a conversation with this little girl and even get her to walk away with him.
Yeah, she said she had to get you first.
But only after talking to her mom first.
We're just going to go right up here on the other side of the hill and we'll come right back.
And our last attempt, another failure. Sarah repeatedly says no after being asked to leave this play area.
I did tell her that the next time if someone ever came up to you that she shouldn't even talk to the person because I was a little concerned that she stayed there and conversed for that long.
We should also mention that all of the moms we talked to did ask for my press identification before agreeing to the experiment. And at least for today, these Central Texas kiddos passed with flying colors. Aubrey Mika, NBC 6 News.
Police say you should begin talking to your children about strangers at an early age.
Parents, you need to let your children know that if a stranger contacts them, they're not to talk with them, they're not to go with them, clearly not to get in their car. If they're grabbed by a stranger, you need to fight. Yell, scream, scratch, bite, do whatever you can to get away.
It's also a good idea to have a secret password that you, your child, and only people you consider safe know about. That way, if someone doesn't know that secret word, your child will not go with them.
And when a child is kidnapped, police have to get the word out quickly. That's why Central Texas cops are joining local broadcasters like us to set up an emergency notification system. Law enforcement agencies would notify all local TV, radio, and cable stations within minutes after a child is abducted. They could also use the system for any other life-threatening emergency involving a missing person, adult or child. Waco police have offered to coordinate these emergency messages and hope to have their system running soon. And some interesting information on who actually preys on children. The FBI says most abductors are relatives or acquaintances of the child. Statistics show stranger abductions are actually falling, though. The FBI opened up 93 such investigations last year, and that's down from 134 the year before.
A local school district will pay after 20 children were abused by their teacher. The Waco Independent School District reached an agreement with families of children abused by Alan Slates. Slates is spending 8 years in jail. Early last year, he pleaded guilty to 11 counts of indecency with a child. He abused children who attended J.H. Hines and Alta Vista Elementaries, and their families sued WISD, claiming they investigated Slates in 1998, found he was abusing students, and did nothing. Pending a judge's approval, those families will get $550,000. WISD claims they were not aware of abuse until a student came forward in March of 2000. We'll have more news in just a moment, but it does appear that summertime has returned to Central Texas.
Yeah, it feels more like good old July out there.
There you go.
Or hot old July. Let's go to our chief meteorologist, Andy Anderson, with an update in your first forecast. Andy?
Bruce, Lisa, a couple of weeks of mild temperatures for July standards anyway. Looks like they're over with. Readings this afternoon well into the 90s. We're still in the 90s now. Cooling into the 80s by 9 o'clock this evening. Probably low 80s by 9. And overnight, low tonight, only down to about 75 degrees. I think we'll see a deck of low clouds rolling in, although I don't think we'll see much in the way of fog, at least not like this morning. Look for a high tomorrow reaching 95 under partly cloudy skies and a few isolated showers. As I said, readings around the area now in the low 90s, but it feels like 102. That's the heat index up in Waco. We'll have complete details on the forecast coming up a little later in the newscast.
Thank you, Andy. A local woman accused of running a bogus psychic business lost her home in court today. 36-year-old Gina Evans ran a spiritual advice and guidance business that consisted of ridding people of evil money or possessions. Prosecutors say that she tricked customers out of $300,000. Today, a federal judge decided to sell her home to pay for the restitution. Evans could face up to 15 years in federal prison for fraud and money laundering charges. 4
men behind a string of local robberies are behind bars, according to Waco police. Dominique Betancourt and DeMarcus Carr are both 19 years old. They were captured this morning along with 17-year-old Ernest Proctor and 24-year-old Darren Williams. Police say the group's latest robbery victim actually helped officers catch the men early this morning after a lengthy foot chase. Police were already looking for 2 of the suspects for robberies earlier this month. Tonight, the men are in the McLennan County Jail, and police are still searching for another suspect, 19-year-old Michael Calhoun.
A routine trip to the mailbox ends in death for a young woman today. It happened around 7:30 this morning at Highway 6 in Falls County. DPS officers say 22-year-old Jennifer Baker pulled over to the side of the road to check her mail. And when she was finished, she tried to make a left turn. That's when an 18-wheeler smashed into her car. Baker was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the 18-wheeler was taken to a local hospital with minor injuries.
Good news for Texas, the state's unemployment rate is down. However, locally, it's not the same story. Take a look. The state's rate decreased to 5.8% in June from 6.2% in May. The Waco area's unemployment is up by 1% to 5.4%. Labor market officials say that increase is due to the lack of seasonal jobs, like for college students. The Killeen-Temple area stands at 5.6%, and Bryan-College Station is there at 2.2%.
More than 100 new jobs will be coming to Central Texas soon. Now, we told you about this earlier about the Blue Cross and Blue Shield moving an office to the Lacey Lakeview area. From August 5th to the 7th, the company will be holding a job fair at the Waco Convention Center. The new facility is expected to open in early 2003. Strip clubs, cigars, wine, just some of the items paid for by your tax dollars by Army soldiers. And Fort Hood is part of the investigation. Details coming up.
Also, police say this man is one of the smoothest con men around. Next in our special report, you can help us track him down.
Where local news comes first. You're watching NBC6 News at 6 with Lisa Heitman and Bruce Foray.
Ford Explorer has been on top of the world for 11 years running. You don't get there by luck. You do it by constant innovation. Like the unbeatable combination of an expansive cargo area with the easiest folding third-row seat, a first in its class. It's just one more idea that takes us to a place no other SUV comes close to. Namely, first place. Ford Explorer, no boundaries.
So how do you like the Big Apple? What's that? That's a herd of poodle. What's that? An upside-down square dance. Come on. What's that? That's a New York City swimming hole. Come on, I'm hungry. What's that?
The new Southwest turkey and bacon on jalapeno cheese bread. Reminds me of home.
Delicious turkey, crisp bacon, topped with tangy Southwest sauce, all in our new fresh-baked jalapeno cheese bread.
Loose horse, I'll get it.
Not a good idea.
If you or a loved one have ever taken the drugs Ponamin or Redux, also known as Fen-Phen, you may be entitled to compensation. It may not matter if you've already registered for the national settlement. It may not matter if a previous echocardiogram failed to show injury. If you or a loved one have taken Fen-Phen, call 1-800-296-3044 to see if you qualify for a free echocardiogram. The settlement deadline is set and fast approaching. It is urgent for you to act now.
The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
The prairie sky
is wide and high.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
100 years ago, Extraco made its home in Central Texas. Over that century, our commitment to the people here has never changed. Because of your spirit, there's only one place we want to be.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
All new Dateline Friday. Lindsay was on the road to a new future. Then she disappeared, seemingly without a trace. No calls, no signs of her car. Was she kidnapped? Maybe murdered? Where was she?
I'm Stone Phillips. Join me for Dateline Friday at 8/7 Central on NBC.
Tonight, a special report that could save you thousands of dollars. Police say there is a scam artist out there posing as a home repairman.
He's already fooled dozens of people across the country, and we want to make sure that you're not next. Melissa McGuire joins us now live in our studio with more on this. Melissa?
Well, Lisa, Bruce, bottom line, there's a con artist on the loose, and he has already made his mark in Central Texas. Before he hit Waco, though, he scammed a family in Plano. This is home video shot by that family. Well, they trusted a man to replace the floor in their home. It was a $15,000 job. They paid 50% up front, a move they're now regretting. The con man took off with their payment after doing some damage to their existing floor. It's a home repair scam costing people thousands of dollars. David Will is wanted all across the country for felony theft, and he could be anywhere. But one man has made it his mission to see justice served.
They come into your home, they steal your money, and they hurt you. Somebody's got to stop them.
The case obviously means a lot to him, and he didn't want to see other citizens, the same thing happen to them.
Find out who this wanted man is and just how far one of his victims will go to catch a thief. That's tonight at 10 on NBC6 News. Bruce, back to you.
All right, Melissa, thank you very much. Well, the 2 Fort Hood soldiers injured in a deadly truck rollover on Tuesday are now out of the hospital. And 3 other soldiers did die in that accident. All were members of the 4th Infantry Division. Yesterday, we mistakenly reported that they died in a tank rollover. The memorial service for those victims has also been moved to a larger space and an earlier time. It will now be tomorrow morning at 10:30 at the main post chapel on Tank Destroyer Boulevard.
Also at Fort Hood, a congressional investigation out today accuses some soldiers there of buying personal goodies at your expense. The General Accounting Office has been investigating Army purchase cards, which work like a credit card, paid back with taxpayer money. The GAO says some soldiers at Fort Hood, the Texas Army National Guard, and 3 other Army installations use those cards to buy things like computer and home electronics, cruises, even the closing costs on a new home. In all, they questioned $150,000 worth of purchases. The report also says other Army installations like Fort Bragg used government travel cards for $38,000 worth of visits to strip clubs. New hope tonight for the millions of Americans with Alzheimer's disease, and it comes from our backyard. A team of researchers at Scott & White Hospital are working on proving the effectiveness of a memory loss drug. It's been in use in India for thousands of years. In tonight's Medical Minute, find out how this drug works and when it could be available to you. That is tonight on NBC6 News at 10.
Time now for a weather forecast. Andy, we've been talking about it for days, and finally some consistent sunshine out there.
Yeah, we forecast Andy forecast 93, and we hit 93 today.
And it looks like tomorrow's going to be even hotter for us. We're now looking at summertime heat with that sunshine building in, no clouds. There's not much to stop it. Temperatures already in the low 90s area-wide. Looks like it's going to be even hotter tomorrow, mid, maybe upper 90s. The rain, however, has moved away on up into the Ozarks. We take a look at the forecast next.
President Bush pledged to leave no child behind. Ramsey Farley agrees. On the Temple School Board, he helped balance the budget and made sure values are part of every child's education. The Lighthouse for the Blind, Children's Hospital, Covenant House, and the Archbishop's Community Appeal have all counted on Ramsey Farley's leadership to improve lives. Ramsey Farley, conservative businessman with deep roots in Texas. Tell Ramsey to keep working for our children's future.
So help me God.
I've worked hard to balance budgets and focus on priorities. I've cut unnecessary regulations and spending and helped pass the largest tax cut in Texas history. As governor, I vetoed $500 million of new spending and helped create more than 500,000 new jobs in Texas. Our budget's balanced, and we're investing in priorities that matter, creating jobs and economic opportunity.
Governor Rick Perry, proven experience, a leader for all Texans.
This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Allen Lee's Outlet Autoplex, it's a 3-day used car mega sale. We've taken over 100 pre-owned cars and trucks and marked each one for immediate clearance. Check out this 2001 Chevy Silverado Extra Cab, this 97 Toyota Camry, and this 2000 Ford Windstar. Other prices start at just $999, and we have $3 million set aside for special finance customers. It's the used car mega sale at the Outlet Autoplex, I-35 in Hillsboro. Hurry, sale ends Saturday.
Roundtree Mitsubishi is all about experience. The Roundtree family has been serving Central Texas for more than 50 years. We're a full-service dealership with experienced employees in all departments, including new and used car sales, service, parts, and body shop. Roundtree will meet or beat any price on all new Mitsubishis like the Lancer or Montero Sport. Come see us at Franklin 28th in Waco, and remember, tell them you know who sent you.
Roundtree Mitsubishi, the experience and the savings you deserve.
Now, NBC6 weather with Chief Meteorologist Andy Anderson.
And welcome back, everyone. Brian Fulton of our staff bringing in tonight's video postcard from the water park over in Waco. Yeah, great afternoon to go enjoy the water. I mean, it was hot this afternoon. Heat index around 100 to 102 is what it is right now. Actual air temperatures in the lower 90s to mid-90s area-wide. Satellite radar together here showing us much better weather picture than we have seen in probably 2.5 weeks or so. Now, there is a little bit of rain still going on. We've been watching a couple of showers down here north of Houston, near Conroe, back towards Huntsville. There've also been a couple of showers back near Meridian and that cloud deck there. Other than that, it's been real quiet this afternoon, and rainfall totals have been less than 1/4 inch in any of these showers. We'll go with a partly cloudy sky. Isolated shower, maybe south winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. The overnight low 75. Tomorrow about 95 for a high. Again, as the afternoon wears on, we hit the peak heat of the afternoon, mid-90s. Air could be unstable enough to pop off maybe a 20% chance of a shower, maybe not even that much. Altogether, we're talking about generally dry weather setting in for us, and it's thanks to this high pressure sitting down here in the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to push back towards the Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of cutting off the supply of moisture coming in. It doesn't completely shut it off because we're going to have moisture coming in at the low levels of the atmosphere, right down near the ground level. That means high humidity will continue for us, just making it feel very summer-like, very tropical. Fair skies now, 54% humidity. 71 is the dew point, so that's an indication that there is moisture leaking in around that high. Southeast winds at 9, the barometer high, 30 inches, taking a bit of a dip. 90 now in Bryan College Station, 91 in Temple and Killeen. Waco reporting 93 at this hour. That's been the high temperature so far for the day. 75 was the morning low. Still considerably milder than we would normally be the middle portions of July. No rain today, and we have not really seen any rain in the area other than a few spotty showers in the periphery in the last 24 hours. UV forecast for tomorrow, 9. That's high. Indication of plenty of sunshine again. For you allergy sufferers, we are picking up some small quantities of weed pollens. Grass pollens showing up in the moderate category. Mold spores in the high category. So if you're having respiratory stress, more than likely it's a mold spores, but be mindful. Tell your doctor there is a little weed and a little grass showing up. 90 now in Dallas. 92 in Houston with sunshine. 92 down in the valley. Some of the moisture coming out of the Pacific, what we call the monsoonal flow, affecting West Texas with a few showers back to the Guadalupe Mountains, back towards the El Paso Valley. Otherwise, things generally kind of quiet across the Lone Star State. Here's your 7-day planner, always a weekend forecast. Gonna stay quiet for the next several days. Won't completely rule out an isolated shower any afternoon, but we're talking about less than 20% chances of rain until probably back to work next week. Maybe not so much on Monday, but I think Tuesday and Wednesday, better chances of rain for us. It's going to be really hot this weekend, so slow down, plan your outdoor activities accordingly. go to the water park. Maybe go to the hill country and check out one of the caves. Get down where it's cool, where you're in the dark, because it's going to feel very much like late July as we go into the weekend and the first part of next week.
Watch out for the weed and grass, though.
There you go. Good get you.
Thank you, Andy.
Texan Lance Armstrong makes a statement at the Tour de France today.
And the drive for 3 straight begins for Tiger Woods. Stick around. Stephen has a look at sports and much more coming up.
What do you want? What do you want? Want wings? You want the Wingstop. What makes a great wing? We know all the things. And as the experts, you could say we've earned our wings with so many ways to flavor it. You're sure to find your favorite. What do you want? What do you want? You want wings? You want the Wingstop.
And now, NBC6 Sports with Sports Director Stephen Iandoli.
Well, it seems these days the only thing Tiger Woods is playing against is history. His legend grows with each trophy he hoists. He tries to join Ben Hogan as the only players to ever win the first 3 major championships in the same season, and it starts today. To round 1 of the British Open at Muirfield in Scotland, defending champion David Duval hasn't played well lately. Bad luck doesn't help. He gets out of this bunker on 16, but the ball ends up hitting the stick and rolling off the green. He finishes his round at 1 over par, 72. Woods to tee off. He does not do the thing everybody knows you need to do to win this weekend, stay in the fairway. He pushes his first drive into heavy grass. Eldrick then, before his second shot, is going to take umbrage at photographers who snap pictures during his setup. It's a good thing he's not staring down a Randy Johnson 98-mile-an-hour fastball from 60 feet 6 inches with 50,000 fans screaming. Woods gets to 1 under on the 9th. After just missing an eagle putt to the left, he settles for birdie. He shoots a 1 under 70. How about David Toms? This birdie on 13 moves him to 4 under where he would stay, and he is one of 3 at the top. And lefty Phil Mickelson is in a large group 1 shot back. This birdie on 17 puts him at 2 under. He'd birdie 18 as well. Carl Peterson and Duffy Waldorf join Toms at the top entering Friday's round 2. 12 are tied at 3 under. More than 30 golfers finish under par, and that means they all have a chance.
Anything under par today is going to be a good score, especially with the weather coming in the next couple of days. And it's going to be tough, and anytime you can get off to a good start like this on a par in a major championship, you're going to be happy.
And nobody on tour knows better than that man. Well, in thoroughbred racing, there's a term trainers use when they want their horse to fire to the finish line. They yell to the jockey, plug him in. They want that extra juice to come at just the right time. With the first mountain stage of the Tour de France today, and Austin native Lance Armstrong in 2nd place, it's time for the 3-time defending champion to plug it in. Trailing by 26 seconds entering it, Armstrong shows why the mountains are his specialty. He covers the 98 miles in 4 hours, 21 minutes, and 55 seconds. 7 seconds in front of Spain's Joseba Bilaki. He's now wearing the yellow jersey with the 11th stage victory. He's 12 seconds ahead of 2nd place Bilaki. 64 high school football teams hit the gridiron in College Station this weekend for a preseason display of passing. The 7-on-7 state championships provide a number of local teams summer conditioning and fine-tuning. Coppers Cove is amongst the teams playing. The Bulldogs pretty much coach themselves as they get ready for fall practice, which begins in less than a month.
You just let it flow, and we have fun with it. You know, we play a team hard, and they're playing us hard, but we're still having fun. And I think that's the most important thing. That's what I like about 7-on-7. It's I guess, a looser atmosphere than the actual football season.
Midway, Cameron, Bryan, and A&M Consolidated will also compete in the tournament, which begins tomorrow and wraps up with the championship Saturday. We'll have more tonight at 10. We will also hear from the new overall leader of the Tour de France, Lance Armstrong, at 10 o'clock. And he's very happy. He gave all the credit to his teammates, and you need a strong team if you're going to compete, and he knows better than everybody else.
Yeah, he just lapped everybody. There was like one guy maybe a little bit further down the road.
Well, right. 3rd place was Roberto Ayres, who he gives complete credit to. He's also on the United States Postal Service team. And you saw him hit his brakes right before the finish, allowing Armstrong to move on. It's just pure teamwork. It's nice to see.
Okay, we'll hear from Lance later on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Andy's up next one last time. Stay with us. Andy's telling us some amazing statistics.
Well, just an idea of how much milder this summer has been so far. Better than 5 inches of rain has been recorded at Bryan College Station. A year ago, they'd only had a quarter of an inch of rain by this time. Tonight, fair skies, almost clear conditions in some locations. Overnight lows down into the low 70s. Tomorrow's highs into the low and mid 90s area-wide. This time a year ago, we would have already seen 10 100-degree or better days. So this has been a very mild summer for us. And spring, for that matter, too.
Right. All right. Thank you.
We'll see you back here tonight at 10 with more local news, weather, and sports.
Have a great evening and enjoy Wheel of Fortune. That's up next.
All right. See you later.
Look at Hyundai's summer sell down. You'll see